All right then. Hmm. How about let's bump this? Let's bump this music up to set the mood. Hmm. Hey everybody, it's me, Lightstar from Lightstar Studios, and I'd like to please say welcome to my Q&A. I'm doing this Q&A as a sort of way to help reassociate with you guys, my fan base, and also but first before I'll be taking questions. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to read. I'm gonna have to let you guys know the rules for Q&As for this one and for the next few going on for the future. Okay, here we go. Rule number 1. I will only answer one question at a time. If that leads me to rule 2. If I don't get to your question, or if I don't notice it at first, I might, if you spam it, it will be ignored. Just let one you know. And also please keep your questions within YouTube's community guidelines. And thank you. Also, number 4. I have full control of what questions I can and cannot answer. If you ask me anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, like anything personal about me, about my daily life, or anything that's not tied towards my YouTube, then the responsible party will receive a timeout for 30 minutes. And if you continue to do so after 2 timeouts, you will be banned, and I will not tolerate repeat offenders. Thank you, and let's get right to it. I'm open to answer any questions. So if you guys got anything you want to ask me, go ahead and put it down in the comments. And for those I answer, I'll put them up here on screen. Kind of like this. Alright? Now, let's get right into the question, shall we? And also, while I wait for some questions, I want to ask the questions from you guys, my loving audience. How are y'all doing today? I am hoping you're all doing wonderful. But also, not to mention, I hope you guys are enjoying your Friday, doing whatever you like. Also, I do apologize if I may not have anything interesting to do or say, but I do try my best. Oh, Ghost Wolf, I'm glad you could make it for my stream. Also, and I will be more than happy to answer your question, buddy. What is the origin of the name Lightstar? Well, that's actually kind of an interesting question, my good buddy. You see, when I started my YouTube channel, I had to come up with something that sounded catchy, or anything that's all around just good for my brand that I wanted to try to put together back when I first tried to do this as a more of a career before I got into a full-time day job. Basically, I kind of just threw the words light and star together, and I know these seem to have stuck. But then one original channel name was actually Lightstar 3817. But later down the line, I thought, what? I thought I could sound a bit more official. So instead of having Lightstar 317, I decided basically you put it down Lightstar Studios to sort of like make it sound more of a brand rather than a personal pet project for myself. It also kind of shows that I want to try to be a bit more professional going forward. But I do appreciate your question, Ghost Wolf. If you got any more, don't be afraid to put them down in the live chat. And as I explained at the start, I'll have them pop up here periodically if I choose to answer them. Now then, any more questions? Also, I hope you guys are enjoying the music too. I'm wanting to make sure that I have something nice and smooth to listen to help keep myself in a very, very calm and relaxed mood. Because honestly, a lot of the times it just helps since I'm not usually very I'm kind of camera shy, to be honest. And sometimes I honestly don't even. Oh, who would? Okay, let's see here. Another question from Ghost Wolf. Who would win in a fight? An alligator or a Komodo dragon? Okay, now that's actually an interesting question right there. You see, honestly, the Komodo dragon itself, many people would probably think that the alligator would probably have the advantage, given its semi-aquatic advantage to work on land and in the water. But there's often one thing people don't tend to know or don't tend to consider when thinking about the Komodo dragon. Their mouths are filled with a sort of like a viral bacteria, which is very, very potent, especially if it keeps up with its natural diet. So, I would think that the Komodo dragon would probably win a fight against an alligator on the advantages of a relatively powerful jaw strength, as well as the previously mentioned bacteria in its saliva, specifically. Thank you again, Ghostwolf 2.0, for your question. I appreciate you, and also I might end up trying to figure something out to help keep you guys engaged and entertained. And also, my good buddy Ghost Wolf, I will also be subscribing to your channel just to show my appreciation. I also hope that everything I'm saying is getting through to you guys. Because honestly, a lot of the times when I feel nervous, I tend to lose my voice a lot. But luckily, as long as I keep myself calm in a positive mood, I should be able to keep my voice relatively loud. Also, another thing is that because of my day job and I deal with people on the daily, I tend to try to make sure I'm well spoken and approachable to the public. Like, say, if I were to come across you guys at a con, or maybe just casually on the street. I'm not sure. A lot of times, YouTubers tend to try to keep themselves when they're in public, especially when their subscriber count reaches like the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. And I'm pretty sure a YouTuber by the name of Mr. Beast also can attest to that, because he's got hundreds of millions, which is also kind of impressive. I also don't think I'll ever probably try to go for that many, because that seems like a Herculean task, especially if I have limited technology. Also, I would like to point out that super chats as well as stickers will also get priority in Q&As. I also might need help sharing this Q&A around to help raise my viewer count. Please excuse me momentarily. Alright, I'm back. I do apologize if I was going a bit longer than I should have, but I'm just making sure that everything is in order. And therefore, I'm also gonna check to maybe even. Hmm. Hmm. Of course, I want to make sure I'm aware of a quick reminder of the rules, just to make sure we're all on the same page. I will be taking one question at a time, so that means which means if you have two questions, you have to make sure it's gotta follow up from the question you just asked. And if I don't get to your question, then please, I would request that you do not spam it in the live feed. Otherwise, I'll just ignore it and have you put in a 15-minute timeout for spam. Next, please keep your questions within community guidelines. I'd rather not have to answer anything that would probably get my live flagged by the system or maybe even banned. So, if you would be too kind as to, not make me have to flex here, then after that, if you do end up asking me something that makes me feel uncomfortable, if you didn't mean to send it, I'll personally ignore it. But if you are just sending uncomfortable questions just for the sake of being a jerk, I'm gonna have to put you in a timeout for it, because honestly, hey, I don't see what's the purpose of just spamming in my live feed just to try to get noticed. Nor I don't see the purpose of having questions pop up just because you want to be a jerk. But honestly, I might end up bringing something else to do. I'm also open to any suggestions for what I can do on the stream to help keep retain and people's attention. Because I try to do my best, but I can only do with what I can. So I do apologize for that. Also, I might adjust it to make it seem a bit more on brand, or rather, something to help keep things fresh. Also, though, I'm also free to talk about. I'm gonna probably talk about anything about my. I'm free to answer questions about any interests I have, about like what kind of music I like, what kind of hobbies I do in my spare time, and also questions regarding changing my channel, like why I haven't been posting hardly anything, or maybe questions that pertains as to why I've seemingly dropped off the face of the earth. But honestly, I can probably get that some of you guys on my channel probably don't seem to care. But honestly, I'm just not doing this to try to prove a point. If anything, I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it right for now. If it actually escalates, I'll be more than happy to try to make this into a sort of a side hustle, or into more of a part-time thing. Because honestly, I'm more than happy to try to spread the word. Also, I will I can also I will be able to accept any requests for any reactions you guys want me to react to. Because also I might end up doing a few reactions to some content. Maybe I'll remake some of my old requests. Perhaps maybe even, and I might actually probably maybe remaster some old videos that I've made in the past, like some of my reactions where I only had my phone at the time. So, and I'll say now that I have something to, aside from a laptop, I'm more than happy to be able to help out. Also, I'm not entirely sure how much longer I'm going to be live for. So if there's any questions you guys want to ask me, then go ahead and put them down in the live feed. But honestly, I'm not entirely sure why I'm going to probably try to stay on here for very long. But also that I do try to do my best with what I got. Because you've all seen my face multiple times when I do videos, but honestly, I kind of prefer to do these lives behind this avatar. But you know what? I think I might end up changing that right now. In fact, because honestly, having this avatar just kind of seems a bit buggy. Alright then, that's much better. It also better fits my channel. Since the SCP Foundation symbol essentially is more towards my Twitch, which I will happily tag that in the live feed if you're interested in that. Otherwise, I actually might transition to Twitch and start maybe playing some games on Xbox. Maybe play some of the Hinokami Chronicles. Maybe I'll play some of the new Hinokami Chronicles too, or I might even play some other games that I have in my library. Also, I might also take some time to try to show off my layout. I hope you don't mind. All right. So basically, to make a long story short, this is how my videos are going to look during reactions. If anything, I might cut, when it comes to my editing, I'll probably cut out dead space in between certain parts of reactions to help me have them be more place of copyright, so that way I don't end up getting screwed over by copyright claims or even strikes. Plus, I might end up actually have to try to talk over the content in addition to pausing at some points. If it's a video on YouTube, I'll be more than happy to credit the original creator in the description. I'll also include a link to the original video in the description as well, as per copyright law, due to the fact that I want to make sure that I want to be able to keep my channel safe from any copyright strikes or copyright warnings. Which I'm pretty sure you probably noticed that actually two of my YouTubes, two of my reactions to Hello Boss actually got copyright warning, got a copyright claim. But that's honestly perfectly fine. As long as I don't get stricken down for copyright right on this platform, I'll be perfectly fine. Because I want to reemphasize, and I'll probably put it down in a banner. Give me one moment to type it up because I don't necessarily have it on file. Alright, there we are. Basically, I like to reemphasize this point. If your YouTube channel, if you're an active creator, or just something you just do in your spare time just to try to improve your skill set, if your channel gets 3 strikes, either in copyright claims or copyright infringement or the community guidelines, your channel is essentially deleted from the web for good. All your hard work, all your subscribers, all your videos gone in an instant. And you're essentially banned from the platform. But there is a chance for you to be able to appeal to the ban if you can prove that the reason you got banned was not for the underlying reason. But sometimes you might end up getting banned without them giving you a reason. Especially regarding the controversy of, especially based around the controversy brought about by a YouTuber between the YouTuber Schlep and the multi-million-dollar game MMO game Roblox. They're basically pretty much Roblox. All Roblox did was pretty much. Sorry if I stop in the middle of my sentences. Sometimes I can't even process my words. Apparently, Roblox sent a cease and desist letter to Schlep on the grounds of being a quote unquote vigilante, because of the fact that he had been working with law enforcement to get PDF files. I'm not saying the actual word because I'm not saying the actual word because I don't want to risk getting my life access restricted or revoked. But if you know, you know. He wanted to get people who were targeting minors on Roblox arrested in IRL because of the fact that he feels that the modding team Roblox has definitely does not seem up to par to deal with this kind of thing. Hell, they don't even moderate their games like they should. There are literal games based around the bathroom and many different applications, and all those of which I'm not going to state or going to get into detail, because I don't want to risk being not able to go live on here. But to basically make a long story short, after Roblox gave and sent Schlep a cease and desist, they promptly banned all of his accounts. And also, they technically proved that they also can moderate their platform if they wanted to, because essentially they had also removed anything that remotely references Schlep. They even removed a Schlep. They even removed a Schlep tribute funeral game on Roblox because of the fact that they don't want people to basically side with Schlep and try to make him out to be someone who's actually aggressive and or a absolute douchebag. But still, I'm pretty sure that when you all can understand what Schlep was actually, Schlep did manage to get six PDFs arrested in his time before Roblox sent him the cease and desist. But honestly, though, the fact that they also doubled down and essentially they can reaffirm the problem because of the fact that they responded saying that they keep themselves to a higher standard and blah 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 blah. I don't really much care for what they say, but because honestly, this is actually what they should do. So also, apparently, as of recently, in this development of the Roblox controversy, say the CEO who officiated Schlepp's ban and the cease and desist had his local law enforcement apparently made a formal request for the CEO to step down from his seat as CEO, and he was subsequently fired. So that would mean, depending on who in the heck takes over for the CEO, hopefully we'll set things straight by actually making moderation for actual moderation for the game, and probably actually having their mod team go after PDFs, just so that way Schlep won't have a problem with having to do it himself. Also, they should officially annul the cease and desist. But also, though, that's also my thoughts on Schlepp's controversy, and I don't necessarily have a script put on me, so I can't necessarily state whether or not I want to be able to have fun. Also, speaking of Roblox, I might play that later after this stream, or I might just end up just putting this away and maybe do another video for next week. Because I want to try to because honestly, regarding my upload schedule, it will technically be played by ear depending on what day depending on my day job. But depending on, I might check to see how much of you guys are live on this platform. So honestly, I might actually end up helping you guys. Might figure out figure out when you're most active and optimize my upload schedule around that. But sometimes I might not get a video out each and every week. I might take a week or two between video uploads to either work on projects that I have in the back burner, or I might work on content that actually might have a bit more use. And also, I think this will probably wrap up my welcome back Q&A. I might keep a lookout later this week for either tomorrow or Sunday. Sunday night, I will probably have another video out for you guys. But until then, this has been the Lightstar Studios, and I'm Lightstar, head of Lightstar Studios Incorporated. So I'm gonna have to let y'all go, and I hope y'all can do one thing for me, and that's to keep on shining. Have a good rest of your day, folks. Also, if you want to see me on stream more, hit the like button and also subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss a live or never miss an upload. See y'all, folks. Bye.